Oh joy! Welcome to Rapid Movie Recaps, where we squeeze movie plots into bite-sized bits for your minuscule attention span. Do yourself a favor and smash that subscribe button. Like this video and flick the notification bell because, let's be honest, you got nothing better to do. Don't forget to hit CC to enable subtitles, because who doesn't love reading while watching videos? Oh, the multitasking. And oh my gosh, we got merch. Yes, you heard it right. Just what you need, more stuff. Check it out below and help us become filthy rich. Or, just support the channel. Wink, wink. The movie kicks off with a group of criminals in Odesa, Ukraine, swiping weapons from carriers and brutally taking out scientists to snatch some high-tech AI weaponry. 2 days later, we meet Nathan, an agent who gets called into a government office for a top-secret assignment. Knighton, the big boss, tasks Nathan with recovering the stolen AI weapon that could spell doom for the world if it falls into the wrong hands. Although Nathan initially declines, he changes his tune after hearing the stakes. To pull off this mission, Nathan enlists the help of a top-notch spy named Orson, despite Knighton's concerns about his hefty fee. With no other options, Nathan tracks down Orson, who's healing up in Africa. Orson's hesitant, but after hearing the price tag and the threat to global security, he agrees to join Nathan on a trip to Madrid, Spain, to get the mission started. Once in Madrid, they're met by Sarah, a brilliant hacker, and JJ Davies, an expert sniper. The team sets out to intercept a hard drive from a courier named Donald, with Sarah hacking cameras from the office and Orson, JJ Davies, and 2 backup agents, Jane and Marcia. Stalking Donald, they plan to corner him in a secluded spot. But things take a turn when their teammates are taken down one by one, and they discover another group is also after the hard drive. Sarah realizes their system's been hacked by none other than John, who now works for their rival, Mike. She manages to regain control and warns Orson of an impending attack. After subduing his attackers, Orson tries to apprehend Donald but is met with resistance from Mike's henchmen, leading to an intense showdown. After a successful mission, Nathan picks up the team, but things take a turn when Donald suffers a heart attack. As they're being chased by cars intent on stealing the hard drive, Donald reveals he was coerced into the job because his wife is being held hostage. He asks Nathan to go undercover as him in Madrid and meet the buyer to save his wife, and then he passes away. Meanwhile, Mike's gang manages to grab a copy of the hard drive, but Sarah assures the team it's useless without the password. Nathan decides to impersonate Donald to find out who purchased the hard drive. With Sarah's help, they identify the buyer as Ben Harris, a lawyer for a notorious arms dealer named Greg Simmons. Orson is skeptical they can catch Simmons, but Sarah discovers the arms dealer has a soft spot for orphans and a particular artist, Denny Francisco. They hatch a plan to exploit this weakness. The team heads to America to recruit Denny, who initially refuses to help but relents when Orson threatens to expose his affair with his sister-in-law. They join Simmons at a charity event on a cruise ship in France, where Denny is tasked with distracting Simmons while Orson and Sarah gather intel. During the event, they discover Mike's men are also there, so they split up. Sarah sets up a microphone in her room, and Orson takes on Mike's men in an epic showdown. Ben Harris catches Sarah, but she uses her acting skills to deceive him, buying time for Orson. Eventually, Simmons invites Denny and Sarah to his villa in Turkey to show off his wealth. While there, Simmons propositions Sarah to be his mistress, offering her a share of his fortune. Orson interrupts the conversation and asks everyone to leave, signaling the end of the mission. The scene shifts to Nathan and GJ listening in on Simmons' conversation with his business partner. They learn the AI weapon is to be sold for $10 billion, and Simmons is just a middleman. The real buyer remains unknown. The team discusses their options and Orson decides to infiltrate Simmons' partner's house to steal the buyer's data. With Sarah's help hacking the CCTV, Orson sneaks in and uses anesthetic gas to knock out the occupants. He locates the safe, copies the data, and takes money and jewelry to make it look like a robbery. As he tries to leave, 2 guards confront him, but Orson cleverly outsmarts and defeats them. Back with the team, they review the stolen data but can't find any information about the AI weapon sale. They do, however, overhear a conversation between Simmons and a man named Qasim, revealing that Orson's heist was discovered, but his identity remains a secret. Sarah uncovers Qasim's identity as a Turkish government official and learns of an upcoming secret meeting between him and Simmons. Nathan orders Sarah and Denny to accept Simmons' invitation to his villa in Turkey to gather more intel. Upon arrival, Simmons gives them a warm welcome and shows off his antique car collection. He gives Denny a car, and they go for a test drive, while Sarah stays behind at the villa to hack Simmons' computer. To avoid detection by Amelia, Simmons' assistant monitoring the CCTV, Sarah must act quickly and discreetly. Switching to Orson and JJ, they are monitoring Qasim's movements and notice Mike doing the same. Meanwhile, Sarah finishes hacking the CCTV and begins searching for information on Simmons' computer. Orson decides to secretly follow Ben Harris, and Sarah soon reports her findings to Nathan. She reveals that Simmons only purchased the stolen AK-47s from the beginning of the film. Disappointed, Nathan tells Orson they've been chasing the wrong person, and Simmons isn't the AI weapon buyer. Orson, still convinced of Simmons' involvement, continues to follow Ben Harris. When Ben Harris realizes he's being followed, he informs Simmons. JJ, who tapped Ben Harris' phone, warns Orson that Harris is aware and has requested backup. Orson quickly defeats Harris' guards, but Harris escapes on a stolen motorbike. With JJ's help, Orson pursues him, but loses sight of him when Harris climbs a building. Harris, attempting to deceive Orson, plants his phone on an unsuspecting passerby before pushing them off the building. Orson, focused on tracking the phone, doesn't notice Harris until he almost pushes Orson off as well. Orson narrowly avoids the fall, and he and JJ capture Harris and return to their base. Back at headquarters, they receive confirmation from Knighton that Sarah's intel is accurate. The AI weapon is capable of launching a nuclear attack, and the true buyer remains unknown. The buyer only communicated with Harris via voicemail and doesn't know his face. With Harris now dead, Orson decides to impersonate him to stop the criminals threatening the world. Orson enlists Sarah's help to imitate Ben Harris' voice for an upcoming call with Simmons. With their plan in place, Orson meets the hard drive buyer while Sarah alters his voice over the phone. Unaware of Harris' death, Simmons proceeds with the transaction. JJ follows Orson to provide backup, and they arrive at the transaction point where they meet the buyer, Sergey. Sergey demands Orson enter the 15-digit passcode for the hard drive. Orson, with Sarah's help, tricks Simmons into revealing the code. However, Simmons' guards soon realize someone is eavesdropping on their conversation. They manage to complete the transaction, but one of Alex's men recognizes Orson from the earlier robbery. A fierce shootout ensues, with JJ defending Orson. Sarah, who has canceled the transaction, escapes with Denny. Orson finds himself pursued by a helicopter, which turns out to be piloted by Mike's men. They capture Sergey, kill him, and seize the AI weapon. Mike orders his men to execute Orson, but JJ intervenes just in time. Simmons, realizing Sarah is the hacker, orders his guards to hunt her and Denny down. Out of ammunition, they flee. Meanwhile, Orson and JJ attempt to rescue Sarah using their helicopter. They find her in a tunnel and launch missiles at their pursuers. Nathan learns that Mike doesn't work for any government and deduces he has sinister plans. Orson decides to use evidence of Simmons' crimes to convince him to help recover the AI weapon. The team is initially skeptical, but Orson persuades them to return to Simmons' base. Upon arrival, Orson negotiates with Simmons for his assistance in retrieving the AI weapon. Simmons initially refuses, but with Denny's persuasion, he ultimately agrees to help. As night falls, Simmons reveals that Mike plans to sell the AI weapon to Trent and Arnold, Simmons' business partners from a previous charity event. They intend to use the weapon to destroy the world's currency, causing chaos and anarchy. Orson, JJ, and Sarah work together to take down Mike's guards. Using a drone, Sarah disrupts their communication while Orson and JJ incapacitate them. Orson fights his way through the guards both outside and inside the building. As Orson reaches the transaction room, he finds everyone dead. As he attempts to retrieve the AI weapon, Mike suddenly attacks him. Lacking martial arts skills, Mike is easily defeated by Orson. With the mission complete, Orson, JJ, and Sarah head to Doha, Qatar, to deliver the AI weapon to Nathan. As a reward, Nathan offers them another, higher-paying job. However, Orson declines as they all wish to vacation on Dry Island to relax and recharge. Be sure to give those hardworking creators and artists a high five by watching the full movie at the link in the description below. You wouldn't want to miss a single glorious frame, would you? So hit that like button, subscribe, and join our little cult of rapid movie recap enthusiasts. Remember, rapid movie recap is always best enjoyed with a side of popcorn.